Yeah, let's go to Mbappe. All right, so Mbappe is on like a really rotten piece of form right now, and it doesn't seem like whatever he tries, anything is working out. What is happening to possibly one of the best players in the world? Is he even one of the best players in the world right now? On current form, I'd say no, but what do you guys think? Pushkar, you want to go first?
Yeah. Um, this is probably the hot topic at this point, particularly after the Liverpool game, I guess. As a Barcelona fan, oh my God, this is my wet dream. So this is everything a Barcelona fan would want at this point because especially Vinny not being there, it made it even more obvious that okay, there's nobody to drag you down the line and probably give you a freak 1-0 win against Liverpool. This started from the first minute I saw him dribble. Salah takes the ball away from him, and that almost led to the goal by David Nunes, and it was cleared out by from the on the line, I guess. But that dude never looked the same ever since that. What is a steal? Let's call it abysmal dribbling. He's trying too much. He's thinking too hard. Every single thing he wants to make an impact by making a weird pass, stupid dribble, or like a long shot with too much power, which never bothered Kelleher. And even the penalty spot, he never bothered Kelleher. It was a very weird sight to see. Honestly, if you look at overall stats, you wouldn't feel like okay, Mbappe is having a bad season compared to every other every other player. But Mbappe has set himself very high standards, especially coming into that team where you thought that oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be a cakewalk for this guy. He's going to bang like 30 goals in his opening season and then roll over, and they're already European champions and La Liga champions, so it was going to continue. But it
So do
was
you
anything
think
but that.
do you think he needs to get dropped?
I surely would like that. That's one. That's one. It's one less big threat in a big game, in my opinion. But yes, Ancelotti, particularly without Vinny, there is no choice at this point. They have to play him. There's no other way. But if Vinny is on the field, I would rather have Vinny, Rodrigo balling out rather than Mbappe being there. He deserves to be benched at this point to make sure that he gets back into his form and
How
does
long?
something else.
How long is Vinny out for?
I think he should be back in the squad next week. They
Okay,
may play him
Few
this
minutes next
upcoming
week,
game,
yeah.
but
got it.
I
Shravan, you want
don't
to go
I
next?
don't think I don't think you can bench him right now, dude. I honestly think he's too big a player for you to say, no, screw you, sit on the bench. However bad your form is, because on his day, if he has that one moment of magic, that's it. That's the end for whatever the opposition is, right? If he had scored the penalty against Liverpool, I don't think the game would have been that easy in the second half for Liverpool. This is
no,
my
I
opinion.
disagree. I
Okay, my
disagree.
opinion. Again, my
Yeah.
opinion, right? Because what he needs is confidence right now, which he's lacking. And that goal would have given him that confidence to try and do something. It
Just
wouldn't,
FYI, he scored a goal over the weekend. It was a decent goal.
but there's a difference between
It was
scoring.
nothing
What was it against Las Palmas? Or was it someone else?
against Leganes, but
Like
goal is a
something with L.
goal. Yes,
Yeah,
goal is a goal.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so I just think he's lacking confidence. He's not doing badly. He's still got the second most goals at Real Madrid this season after Vinicius. He's got 9, I think, and Vinicius got 12. So I don't think you can drop him and say fucking go sit on the bench. You just have to be like, dude, ride it out, fucking get some fluke goal somewhere, and then after that you're back. It's like that first 6 7 games of Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid as well, where he wasn't really firing, but then he got back into his groove and scored like 26 goals at the end of the season. So yeah, you can't drop him, dude.
Yeah. I, yeah, obviously, I think the answer to dropping him is obvious that you can't do that, especially with the squad that he is and the stature that he has. But for me, like if I were to take one moment from the LFC as a Madrid game, as so much I want that Bradley, like sweeping him off, that to be the moment. But there was another one where I think he lost the ball to one of our forwards, and then he just dropped. His shoulder dropped. He just stood there. He started to walk. Like
When he did the square pass,
he
Hmm.
didn't do anything else. He didn't track back. He didn't try to go forward. He didn't try to do anything to win the ball. That to me summarizes where Mbappe is right now in the squad. Like, I don't think he has gelled in with the squad. The squad hasn't taken him as like so one of his own. He has brought in his stardom. So for example, right, like no matter who you are, so whichever squad that you go, you went into a squad that won the La Liga, that won the Champions League, that was on the top of the world. You need to earn your spot. Vinny was the star. Jude was the star. Mbappe needs to earn his spot to be treated as a star. But knowing Mbappe, if he has an issue, people like the France president come talk to him. Maybe
Dude,
France
no,
prime minister is on
no.
speed dial for him. That is what he's gone through in the past, and I think he carried that to him in to Real Madrid, and to me it clearly shows.
That's
So for me,
brilliantly put.
the main point is not about Mbappe, the footballer, because he's a baller. There hasn't been one like him. He's still the best striker out there that can turn a game on its head. He has shown it in the biggest stage, that is like the World Cup like final, with a hat trick himself. So Mbappe is that dude. But then he has to earn to be that dude in Real Madrid. And with that, I think like it's gonna take time. But then he's in the right place. If there is any manager who can turn it around, it's Don Carlo. He has proved it with every star that he has managed so far. And I think it's a matter of time. But I still think there is some more rough games ahead of him until he can turn it around.
I don't think the comparison with Mbappe and Ronaldo is it's even fair. Like Ronaldo is a different mentality altogether. Mbappe is when he sulks to Kuban. It's a different thing. Like when Ronaldo left United, United were at their top of the world, and Ronaldo was one of the biggest stars at United. When moving from there to Real Madrid, in my opinion, even though he struggled, he never felt out of place from the get-go. He struggled only because he was trying to settling in, trying to understand the teammates. But Mbappe, even there was a tunnel video, if you guys have seen, with Rudiger and Jude Bellingham. He looks totally lost, like a child among the giants. He doesn't look like he belongs in this place. He doesn't look like, okay, this is a place where I feel like I can be the star. It's not going to happen. And if you do not pay attention to your basic skills in La Liga, you're never going to succeed in La Liga. You need to be skillful. You need to pay attention to everything that's happening in the game. It is a very technique and tactics-based game in La Liga, not physical at all. What he has gone through in Ligue 1, he just brute force and happily just run past the defenders and then score. That's never going to happen in La Liga. And UCL, of course, you meet the best team. So I do not think he should start, at least until he gets over this. I feel like any other person, you would drop him. Just because it's Mbappe, he doesn't deserve any special treatment.
I do
Yeah.
agree with that. Like I do agree that any other footballer you drop, but thing with such players is their genius, right? You cannot drop them because they're capable of turning it around. You want to drop fucking Furlan Mendy, you got to go drop him because he sucks, because he's never going to have that moment of magic. That's the difference. That's why I'm saying you cannot drop him. You need to give him time on the field so that he can start getting those magic moments back. Now, one thing Avinash said I didn't like, not that I didn't like, but I don't agree with it, is he's used to this diva thing where he has the president of France in his like speed dial
It's
or
a
something,
fact.
right?
It's a fact.
It's not a fact. No, okay. So
It is a
How is
it's
it not a
taken out
fact?
of context. I
It
tell
is
you,
a
it's
How is
fact.
it not? Do you have his phone number? Do you have his cell? Go ahead. Sorry.
no. So here's the thing. He didn't call the president of France and say fucking make the PSG president give me like 600 million for 200 million in to stay back, right? It was actually PSG seeking the help of the France government to try and portray Mbappe as a
That's
French
so
asset.
much better. That's so much
No,
better.
it's not. It does make a difference, right? It's not you going and talking to the president. It's the club telling the president that this guy's a
Yeah,
French asset.
so
Talk
That's
and get
even
him back.
that's the same
It's
point, bro. That's the same point. He feels he's so much above everyone when the president himself comes and talks. For example,
in
PSG
France,
had
yes.
Neymar, PSG had Neymar, PSG had Messi. Still, they put Mbappe on top of everything
Yes,
else.
because he's
What the fuck?
French. Because he's French.
So that's what, right? He's bringing that sort of a ego
Diva.
or that sort of a
At that
diva
point,
mentality at Madrid.
also at that point, among the three of them, he was the only World Cup winner, right? I mean, I'm not
So
saying Messi is
what?
any smaller because of it or Neymar is smaller because of it. I'm saying for
So
France,
what?
it matters to them, dude. What are you talking about?
So yeah, so the point that we're trying to say is, or we are trying to talk about, does Mbappe feel like he's a diva? For
That's what I'm
France,
saying.
yes, he's a diva. So he
Correct.
feels he's a diva. That's
I
what
am
I'm trying
saying
to
it's
say.
not the case when you move to Real Madrid. So, I mean, at this point, right? Like when he was with PSG, he's obviously the biggest superstar there. Like they didn't even try to hide it, right?
Sure,
Now,
bro,
when
I
you
agree.
move to Real Madrid, right, you come in understanding the history of the club. You come in understanding who the people are.
He's not doing that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Whether he is or he is not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying the form that he's in. One, we are saying someone with 10 goals in the first 20 games is is doing badly itself means that we place him on a different pedestal to compare to other players. 10 goals in 20. Yes, what?
No, we watch football, not the stats. I've
No,
seen
I'm
every single
saying
game of
at
it.
the end of the
He
day,
is ass.
he's as fine. No,
Yeah.
and my point that I was trying to make
It's
was
unfriendly. It's
let's give him
unfriendly,
time.
bro. It's
Yeah, but let
unfriendly,
me
man.
don't I forget my points, man. Okay, so coming
You
into a
let me.
new
I raised
team,
my finger. You let me. Yeah. Your fault.
coming into a new team like Real Madrid, right? So Pushia said something where in France it was just cakewalk for him. There was no team challenging him. There was nothing that was being done. The quality of the opposition was just not there, right? It's not
Sure.
the case in La Liga. You're working with a standard of players that are far ahead of what you worked with at PSG to a certain level. Like obviously
Okay.
there's right, probably not a great comparison, but yeah, some of them had checked out at PSG, but in Real Madrid you can't really check out, right?
Okay.
So you need time. You need to give him time to adapt. You need to give him time to say, okay, boss, I understand the league. I understand what is happening with my defense, with defenders there. So you saying that he's coming in with diva mentality and refusing to work hard is what I don't agree with.
Bro,
I'm saying
if
he's
you,
probably trying.
yeah,
He's
take an
trying, but
example.
he's failing.
So I also gave the example. I gave the example of what happened at the game. We saw
Right.
him
But
at the
when
game.
has but
We
when
saw,
has
that's the thing. He has to change that. He has to understand that he has
he
a Real
has to,
Madrid where
yes.
everybody has to track back.
I agree.
Bro,
I don't
it's
No,
so
I
December. It is
also.
December. If he hasn't learned that by now, then there's something wrong with him, right?
Okay, so
it
I
also is
don't
a
believe
function
that.
of
Like,
how the coach wants you to play, right?
The
yes,
coach doesn't
yes,
want you to just stand after you lose the ball.
They
do that.
do. You want to
Vinny,
stay in attack.
yes,
Yeah, you
yes,
need to stay in attack. You
Bro,
can't go back.
so 10 seconds, if Don Carlos saw that, I'm sure he's kicking Mbappe in his
I
ass.
am sure. Yes, I am
So
sure.
that's what
There
I'm
are
talking
specific.
about.
Of course, every big player they pick and choose when to track back and when to
Yeah.
not. That's their smartness. Vinny is a pro at it. When he wants to
Cristiano
track
never
back, he
tracked back, by
tracks
the
back.
way.
Cristiano never tracks back. Messi
Yeah.
rarely does. Whenever they have a specific thing to do, they usually do that. Like, but Mbappe is still not there. Where like, okay, I can pick and choose. This time I'm going to track back, and that was not track backing thing. That's just sulking. That dude lost
Exactly. His body
every
language
single
was
thing in
done.
his
Yeah,
body. Yes,
exactly.
it was gone.
Sure,
Yeah.
wrong choice of words, guys. He was sulking in a Champions League
Which is
match, guys.
understandable, man. It's understandable. He's going through a rotten form. Nothing's worked out in the game. You give him that
No,
much, no.
How much do
I
you
have
want
another
to?
theory.
How much do you want to pander to this diva, man? Now you are making him a diva, not the French president.
Another thing. So, how much of a miss is people like Cruz and Carvajal, like these real legends, not being there to at
I
least
don't think so.
I don't think
impart
it's a
some.
legend issue. I don't think it's
No,
a
no,
legend
no.
issue. I think it's a leader issue in the team right now.
Sure. Okay, let's call it a leader issue. Who is the leader for this team right now?
I don't
It
think
should
so
be
because
Rudiger
there
in my
is
mind.
Modric.
Modric has never been a leader, dude. Modric has been a warrior. He's been a team player and he does things. He's never going to be someone to be vocal about. Like, if you look at how Sergio Ramos rallied the team around him in 2013-14 Champions League final, right? Where he got the header before when they won 4-1. You need leaders like that. What Pusha is saying is they're missing those, which I completely agree with.
Yeah, but
Right?
then so coming back to Mbappe, what about
There's no one to tell him that, dude, in the squad right now.
Yeah.
Ayyo, pavam, chinna paiyan,
Ayyo,
chinna
pavam.
paiyan. He doesn't know. Huh? He doesn't
Dude,
know what to
when
do.
you are
Mbappe.
when you are down,
Highest earning playing for Real Madrid.
he's also he's not the highest earning player, by the way, in Real Madrid.
Okay, sorry, second
Forget.
highest earning player. My bad.
Anyway,
Who
let's.
is the highest earning player?
I thought Vinicius was and Bellingham. Vinicius and
No.
Bellingham were tied together,
No,
or maybe all
freaking
three
way.
were at this point.
Mbappe is going
Okay.
to sign for a team where he is not the highest paid player
Hey, no,
on the
I'm
team.
not talking about the joining bonus and stuff. Okay, my point being, when you are down in your luck, when you're down in the dumps, it's very difficult for you to say mentally be that strong and say, "Fuck, I have to go do this additional thing." He's never had that. It's going to take him time to learn that. That's all I'm trying to get at.
Guys,
You cannot do that.
wait. I have to say something. I have to say something here because of my boy. Okay.
Because
Mbappe
of what?
is in the
About
dumps.
Nunes.
Wait, don't go there. Mbappe is in the dumps. Huh? Everybody are against him. He's not tracking back. Ayyo, pavam paiyan, he cannot track back.
He's gonna bring
What
in
about
Salah.
Darwin Nunez, dude?
I
What about
knew this
Darwin
was coming.
Nunez? In the same game, last game, guys, he goes
I agree.
all the way track back. So now what? Now
Are you
now tell
saying
me.
are you saying Darwin Nunez has the same moments of magic that Mbappe has?
I am
In
not saying that.
in the last
You are
game, 10 times.
10 times.
Okay,
Exactly.
don't go game by game.
Wait.
Sure.
I
yeah.
am talking about your point of Mbappe shouldn't be tracking back. Everyone is
I didn't say
against
he
him.
shouldn't
World is.
be. I didn't say
Hey,
he shouldn't
let me
be. I
finish.
said he didn't because he's down
Now,
in the dumps.
now let me finish. Okay, Mbappe
Okay.
is down in the dumps. Darwin Nunez has been down in the dumps for 2 years. Everyone is putting him down in the dumps for 2 years. But look at that that
It's fine.
chaos, that the chaos that he brings in, man, the energy that he brings in, and you could see that energy in the game itself, right? So if I'm not saying if Nunez can do it, Mbappe should also. That's not the comparison that I'm trying to play.
Well,
Both
it's
are
not a
different
bad
types
thing
of
to
players.
say. No, it's not a
No,
bad thing to say. If you're a team player, you got to do all this. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll give you this. I'll give you that.
now say
Not
okay,
Hold
good.
on. I'll give.
not to talk. Yeah, not to talk too
Point
much about
taken.
Nunes.
Point
Not to
taken.
talk too
Point
much
taken.
about Nunes, but I genuinely understood. I genuinely understood what Liverpool fans' opinion about Nunes was watching the last game.
There you go.
I was in love with that guy throughout the
There
game.
you go.
He didn't get it all the way to the end, but he was taking the most improbable shots and missing them by minuscule this thing. And maybe he will get better, I guess. But I genuinely feel any fan getting excited about this guy
Work
running
rate.
against this back line and coming back and forth and back and forth. It was beautiful to watch the guy play. I hope he gets better, but
So I'm just saying you cannot drop Mbappe. I'm just saying he's going to come good and he's
Of
going to
course.
come better than what we all expected him to be in the first season of Real Madrid. Is my point. That's all
here's
I'm
what
trying to
I'll
say.
do. Here's what I'll do. I'll fake an injury. Say that Mbappe sprained something, fake an injury, put him out, make sure that he does better, and we are testing him out, bring him in slowly.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank God you are not Don Carlo, bro.